So what does it all mean? There's no more cookies being used. Well, I did dive into this a little bit with a video already, but I want to talk about some recent updates with it and how it's not as bad as you think. Let's talk. So April 26th, Apple enabled basically the non-tracking or opt-out auto-tracking on Apple devices. If you have an Apple device, basically it made it so it doesn't track you. Actually, this has been going on since 2019 when they already announced kind of a dev kit that wouldn't be using cookies anymore. And Google's already been pushing these initiatives for a long time. But the truth of the matter is that how it works right now is that Facebook is startled by it because they work differently than Google, obviously. Facebook uses an app, and within that app, they control what you do. It's a walled garden. You can see whatever Facebook wants you to see. But once you leave that app now, Apple will not allow tracking to carry over, whereas it used to actually be able to track you even, and this was confirmed when I had a Facebook marketing meeting not too long ago with a Facebook rep that basically said Facebook can no longer track you using your phone when you leave the Facebook app, which they actually could track you when you left if you were still logged in. So if the app was closed on your screen, but you're still logged into Facebook or like Instagram, they can still, in the past, they could track you whatever site you've been to. Now, to me, that is a little freaky. It's starting to be a little weird. With Google, it's different in the sense that Google, you use google.com, you search on Siri, you search on Safari, whatever. When you do that, they know within reason like what you're searching for and that kind of stuff, and they can put you kind of into a bucket of a type of user that likes, cars, or likes like new cars, or maybe a Dodge car, like specific types of cars and stuff. 67 Mustang, whatever it is. With Facebook, it was more alarming, terrifying in the sense that somebody could actually, you could actually know like who the person was technically through Facebook. And that was the whole Cambridge Analytica thing where stuff, got leaked and all that. And that's where Apple became really aggressive on this to no longer do that. Now, the good news from the Apple side is Apple agrees with that. I mean, they already anonymize data. They don't track your IP address. They totally, that was always against policy. If you actually track an IP address and like know the person, that's actually against Apple policy, and you can get banned for analytics stuff or Google ads if you do that. Again, there are different types of ecosystems, and your data will not be affected. Your ads will not be affected on Google ads, because Google ads, you'll be fine if you're using YouTube by Google search, Gmail. And then within Google display ads, if the display ad, there's millions upon millions of websites that are connected basically to Google through their ad network, which was very smart on their part to also integrate like Android phones and stuff with it as well, because then you control the ecosystem. That's the whole idea. Android is not affected by this, obviously, and they're a big market share, and Apple is basically also changing the game though, and Apple knows that cookies are on the way out anyways. People are blocking them with their computers or their phones or whatever anyways, so that's not really a big deal. The display network itself, people that actually tie into Google Analytics through GA4 or through Google Analytics Universal Tags, you go to these different websites, you're tied into Google still. And Google still knows that, oh, you're going to this site, you like this kind of thing. And like it could be cars, like you're looking up cars, you're looking up, t-shirts, whatever. And then they'll group you into certain buckets. They're basically doing the same exact thing, but they're calling it federated cohorts. And federated cohorts, or FLOC, basically means they're grouping you into user groups. And then, they'll pick the user groups like, oh, I want to advertise to people who like t-shirts that have cartoons on them of, Flintstones or whatever, because that's my customer base. I sell Flintstone t-shirts or whatever. I really think that this had been overblown. We just didn't know what the information was, and we were getting a lot of very confusing stuff because Facebook's in one corner, Apple's in another, and that's very confusing, to what the heck's going on. The important thing to note is that you want to double down on content. You want to create social posts. You want to optimize your newsletters. You want to do good stuff like that, video stuff. You want to control your data. That's how you can be assured as a small business that you'll win. Do that. Do that good stuff that you should be doing as a business anyways. Hopefully this helped. Again, all of this is just for the benefit of the user, you, to hopefully get some information on what's going on. Again, your display ads, your Google ads will not be affected by this stuff. I mean, you want to check your display ads anyways. You want to optimize them. You want to find the audiences that work, that are converting, and do that. It's not going to be the big thing that it seemed to be from media and other things. So good to know. If you have any questions about this or any comments, please leave them below. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.